Michael,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Not too bad.
Okay. Well, before we talk, let's jump straight into the album. What was the starting point? Was there a moment after touring for the previous record that everything started up again for this record?
Um, I don't think there was one like clear moment. It took quite a while to get going with the music. Um, you know, it didn't happen straight away, and it took me a while to get some songs and music that I was really happy with. So there wasn't a clear moment, but things started to take good shape like about a year ago,
Okay.
and where things began to start sounding good. But I've been trying to make an album for about 3 years.
Well, you say it didn't start up as you would have liked. Why not?
Just slow, you know. There was a period where I wrote quite a lot of songs on my own and recorded those and worked on those and produced those up. And then I kind of started again a bit with some other types of songs. I thought those maybe weren't what I was trying to say, or I didn't really cover what I was trying to say fully. So I thought I'd revisit some of those or scrap some and start again. So it was just a bit of stop-start, and it just took quite a long process.
Did you have a clear image of what you wanted already?
Yeah, I had an image of, I wanted it to be more like a darker album, a bit heavier, more of a soul album than a folk album, more of like a haunting sound. That's definitely what I wanted, and more intense, you know. That was always in my head, but how to get there kept changing.
How come? How come this darker element?
I just thought it would be different, you know, because you need to look for things, like you need to go to different places to create new stuff. So to prevent everything sounding the same, you know, you have to look for different places for inspiration, you know. And I thought, let me concentrate on more of an intense kind of like darker feel for inspiration for lyrics and music and sound and chords. Sometimes as simple as like minor chords, and just can evoke a different kind of lyric or a different kind of message to what major chords do. Just as simple as that helps you stay creative, you know.
Oftentimes, when I talk to artists, they also say that the music that they make is a reflection of where they are in that space and time. So, in that sense, is that the same for you? Where were you in let's say a darker period?
I think it definitely reflects the place I was in, but I wasn't in a dark period. Okay. It was just that I wanted to speak of those times, you know. The music and what I'm saying reflects where I was at, but I wanted to make that stuff known, you know, and speak about those. Almost like a warning to myself, you know, you can feel like this sometimes. And you experience some, as you get older, you experience some like dark periods of life where things aren't so great. And, you know, I chose to think about those when I was writing songs sometimes. And so I just used it as a springboard, but I wasn't feeling low at the time, yeah.
Okay. Well, I read somewhere that you thought about not doing any music after the first album. I'm not sure if this is true, but was it?
Yeah, there were some times where I felt like I didn't want to make music. Well, that's because it was difficult, like a real tussle, and I was finding it difficult to make anything that I was pleased with or enjoyed or wanted to show anyone. And I thought that maybe I couldn't do it again, you know. Maybe my songs had ran out or I didn't have much else to say. But it's not hard to make music, but it's hard to make music sound good, you know.
Was there a turning point then?
Yeah. When I started writing with some other people, that was a turning point. They kind of inspired me they kind of got some other parts out of me that I didn't know were there.
Can you give me one example? Can you take me to one of those writing sessions of the early songs?
Yeah. Well, the writing sessions with other people were the newer ones, but trying to think what was good. You know, like the song Love and Hate was good. The way I did that was just, I had that melody and that hook of the BVs do. I just had those 3 chords in that song. No lyrics, but just the BV line that goes through the whole song. And then I just recorded just that. And then later I went back to just coming up with a melody and no lyrics, but just random words. And as I was doing that, there was my friend Inflo, the producer, was there, so just kind of guided me in those things. But in that process, but that helped, because there'll be times if I was on my own, I'll just give up. But it helped me just to keep going. So writing with people, they're more like instigators for me. You know, they just kind of pushed me to complete my ideas and not give up. You know.
And this whole idea of making good music, that it's tough to make music you like yourself and making good music. Was that perhaps a reaction on the success that the first album had?
Yeah, I think so. I'd wonder why people would like a song, and I'd think about why do they like a certain song? How did you make a certain song sound good? What is it that makes you be creative and be inspired? Do you have to record in the night time? Do you have to have a drink? Do you have to be awake in the day? Yeah, I started to think about all those things because the first one went quite well, you know. So it did affect me.
And what have you found maybe in the process of making your second record? What makes a good song?
Yeah, vulnerability makes a good song, honesty, melody, and emotion. You know, all of those things are the stuff that make for a good song.
And if you go back then to Home Again, were there parts maybe where it was lacking then for it, if you listen back to it now?
No, I still hear it if I listen. I mean, I never listened back to it, but I still hear it. But
okay.
I think when you get busy doing gigs and stuff, I just wasn't thinking about it then. And then then this time I was, because it was more of like a job. Where some of those songs, it was just, I was just doing it. I didn't know what would happen. So yeah.